All right, peace and black power, everybody. I want to welcome you to another NCRBGZ production, and tonight is going down. Yeah, for all you everybody who loves scholarship, everybody who loves banging on religion or discussing theologies is about to go down. So today we got a show set up for everybody. What I want to do, I want to first off thank everybody who's going to watch the show. We want to thank you for watching. Like the video, thumb it up, subscribe to the channel. And with that being said, the name of today's show is The Bible versus African Spirituality. We got two brothers on the panel that's going to delve into this subject. And with that being said, I'm going to give the two brothers that's going to speak about the subject the opportunity to introduce themselves to the family, and then we're going to let everybody else that's on the chat also introduce themselves. So with that being said, we're going to start with Elder Ramesu, and then we're going to let the brother, is your name Sean? Yeah, we're going to let the brother Sean introduce himself. Then we'll go to Nell, Miss Mona, then Eric.
Okay, so that's all me?
Yes,
okay,
sir.
My name is Dr. Ramesu, and I guess I don't know. I'm here to just talk about. I'm not here to debate. I'm here to hopefully I can receive some in the same light. That's what we do. We're here to share information, and hopefully we can grow and get to the next level of our reality, so to speak. So and thing that we call the Bible, and it's interesting to hear other people's perspective on it. But I think I have some stuff I can impart. That's basically it. Go man.
All right, brother Sean.
Yeah.
Introduce yourself to the family, man. Let them know your name, where you from. Stance, whatever.
Yeah, Sean, Minnesota, and just trying to get some clarity on how y'all thinking about this Bible thing and about this this Egyptian thing. So I'm just trying to see, just see what people thinking about that.
All right, thanks, brother. Next, we're going to let Nell, then we're going to let the Queen, Miss Mona, then we're going to let Eric introduce themselves, and then I'm going to throw some topics.
Peace, family. I'm Neb Up. Some of y'all know me as Cam and whatnot. Yeah, listen, learn, go party. I'm gonna add on also. I got my story ready. So it's all started here. Son took my down Kemetic, down Africa and everything. No beat, not debate. We have a back and forth, couple doors, iron up iron. It's all love. That's it.
All right, Miss Mona.
Greetings. Can you hear me? Because I couldn't hear Ned well.
You hear me now?
I can hear you better, but can everyone hear me? Is it
No, I hear you loud and clear.
Okay.
We hear you.
Okay. Well, greetings, Kings. Stuart, you said my name, so I'm Mona Epps. I am just happy to be invited. Thank you. Very interesting topic. So can't wait.
All right.
All right, Trueborn.
Peace. My name is Trueborn Lala, and I do elevate my knowledge to Egyptian knowledge. But I say peace to everybody.
At least it was taking notes. Somebody was taking notes and they was passing it down, brother. That was my point. And so when we go back that far, we have to have some answers that these modern day folks don't have, because their history doesn't go back beyond Abraham. which I said to you, if you go back and you get a strong theological, research, then you can go back no further than 6,000.
That's not true. Right there, that's not true. Because there's no, I don't know where you're getting this dates. And if we're talking about the beginning of the recorded, what the Bible or Holy Scriptures is speaking, don't give you a time perimeter. So we don't know if it's talking about 100,000 years. But if you just come and saying, hey, let's put a time perimeter on this, that ain't, I mean, I don't see you, because I know people say that, hey, it's a white man, somebody, you don't even know who created the scriptures. White man created that. When I asked you, because we know that the Holy Scriptures was wrote before the white man got it. It's a factual truth that in Ethiopia? Was it Ethiopia right now? They have scrolls that's in copper, that's thousands of years old. Even if you white man just wrote, supposed to be the white man wrote the paper Bible within 500 years ago or something like that. But if we go back before that, we got proof in Ethiopia. So I mean, what did that come from? And if the white man wrote that for you to be in slavery?
Okay.
So that's what I'm trying to say.
First of all, I never said the white man wrote that. Okay, I want you to pay attention, brother. See, most people who don't understand the historical, or chronological order in which the Bible came into play, really are confused. And this is what I mean. See, the first happened in a place called Nicaea in 325 AD. This is when Constantine, a white man, right, an emperor of Rome, summoned all the bishops around the Mediterranean, because as Rome conquered, they couldn't get together. So what he did, especially you had a black man named Arius who came out of Libya, right, who was saying that your concept of the Son of God is a made-up concept, because you were talking about a person, right, by the name of Serapis. So when Constantine summoned these bishops, it summoned all of them, and they had a conference. And in that conference, they were able to take books out of the Bible and put books in. That's why in Rome, the Roman Catholic Bible has 72 books. The King James only has 66. And I can name books right now that are in your Bible, but you won't be able to find it. You won't be able to find it because they're not in it.
So
they were taken out.
You're right about that. But what I'm saying, but before Constantine got his hands on it, we know for a fact in Ethiopia right now, they got scrolls that's in Constantine. So what I'm trying to say is, why when the Egyptian have some artifacts and things, it's believed to be, hey, this is the truth. But when the Hebrews have that, where you say, oh, that ain't nothing. But I'm putting words in your mouth, because I see you talking about Constantine and all of this, but right now there are scrolls in copper that's thousands of years old in Ethiopia right now.
Wisdom. But I just got to do a quick plug. I thank everybody for watching. If y'all like what's going on, so we got two brothers that's talking about the historical comparison of the Bible, and then dealing with Kemet, so it's going down on the conversation. And I want to give them the opportunity to introduce themselves, and then once they introduce themselves, we're gonna let y'all two get back in. And Julie Smith the opportunity to introduce themselves to the family. So I'm gonna unmute Master. You're gonna unmute Julie Mike so she can introduce herself. Then we'll let y'all get finished, and then I think we might. Oh, sorry, fellas, but I just wanted to do that real fast. I want to give the two new people the opportunity to introduce themselves to the family. With that being said, Master, I'm unmute your mic.
All right, peace. Yeah, this is Master U. Cam invited me out, so I'm just here showing some love, doing the knowledge, listening, dropping some knowledge, and I'm not sure what the other brother name is, but right now I'm just lending an ear and just seeing what is being said. So, that's all.
All right, thanks, brother. We appreciate you for all right, let me mute you. Now let me unmute Julie. Julie, you unmute. You can introduce yourself to the family.
Hi, I'm Julie. I'm from England, Wolverhampton, just a small town. I'm just listening to you guys, and I'll try and give my input when, it's, yeah.
Mike, now with that being said, y'all two brothers, go ahead. We're gonna give y'all about 5 more minutes to iron this out, what exactly y'all talking about, and then we'll open this up a little bit better if we open it up right about now. So y'all two go ahead.
No, I'm still back at that question that the other brother went over that and started speaking of Constantine, but that's not what the scrolls that's in copper, that's thousands of years old, that's in Ethiopia right now, that dates back thousands of years before Constantine and the white man got the Bible and all that. And I guess I want to hear what you have to say about that.
First of all, when you talk about the Ethiopian Bible, it's in Amharic. It's in Amharic, right? And you can only go back to what we call, I would say, around 494 of the Christian era, right? But that Bible in Axum, right, in Ethiopia, right, is nothing but a plagiarization of what came out of ancient Kemet, right? So now, be that as it may, I mean, we could talk about Kemet because the first 3 popes came out of North Africa before there was even a pope in Europe. I'm not talking about most people in Catholicism. What they go by is the first ecumenical council in Christendom. This is when Constantine put together the Bible as we know it in a chronological order that it's in right now. Is what they did during the Nicene Council of Bishops. That's what I'm saying, brother. And you have to be honest with yourself that most Israelites and most Christians who follow the Bible follow it in that order. They follow it in the order that it's in right now. That order was put in order in 325 AD for a reason. Now, what happened? The Ethiopian Bible has 84 books in it, right? So, what happened to those books, brother? What happened to those books?
We know that they took those books out, but like I said, even the Bible that people read now is not even the King James Bible, which a lot of people say it is, but it's not because it was books
brother,
taken out of that.
King James is just a version. There's many versions. There's at least there's hundreds of versions of the Bible. There's the Septuagint. There's the Septuagint.
That though. See, I think what I get you. You're a teacher, but we know that. I think we all know that, and we know that it's many versions. But what I was speaking of to, you were saying that Constantine took books out, but we know that King James, which y'all say he was white, which we know for a fact he was a Moor in England.
That's being disingenuous, brother. Let me explain to you why. See, because when you say that he was a Moor, right, what King James are you talking about? See, the King James who wrote the Bible, who had the Bible commissioned to be written by 50 of his people who wrote that book in 1611, he was a King James that came out of Scotland, right? If you look at the descendancy chart, right, but we're not talking about that King James. The one you're talking about, the black one, we're aware who he is, but he's not the one who commissioned the Bible to be translated, you know? We're talking about the one whose mother was Mary Stuart. Mary Stuart, right? Her son is the one who had the Bible translated in English. You know, now that man was a white man, Jimmy Stewart. That's his name, Jimmy Stewart. We ain't talking about him, right? We're talking about him in terms of translating the Bible. But the one you're talking about, the one you're calling the Moor, that's another King James. Go through your history check, brother. There's about 7 King James. You just got to get the right one. And the Moors, whether it be from the Moorish Science Temple of America or whatever, they will tell you that King, or the Israelites, they will tell you that he's black, but they're not going to tell you which one he was and make that connection. See, that's what I'm saying, brother. You know, what we don't do enough of is do the research. You know, we'll go on YouTube, you know, and we become scholars, YouTube scholars. I'm saying do the research, brother. And if you do the research, then you'll understand what I'm saying to you. You know, if you do the research, then you'll understand when I told you that Abraham was born in 1675 BCE, you would understand that because you would get a concordance, a Strong's concordance, you know, that breaks down the time period. And you will see that what I just told you earlier was the truth. You know, so you can't start. That's like saying the Israelites to tell you that the 12 tribes were, you know, they were slaves in Egypt and they built the pyramids. Well, if you look at that time frame, you could say to yourself, that's impossible because all the pyramids were up already. You understand? And it's that same Bible that people are reading and don't really understand the fact that even though they're calling themselves Israelites, go pick up the book, brother, and go turn to the 2 Kings. Turn to 2 Kings 17:17. And you'll see for yourself, it says in there, it says God was angry with Israel and he removed them out of his sight. Now, if God, the all-seeing eye, removed anything from his sight, what makes you think you can see it? So if he's telling you that in the 2 Kings, that he removed Israel out of his sight, how does Israel exist today? How does Israel exist today if God is telling you in 2 Kings he removed Israel out of his sight? Or the better question would be, when did he put him back in his sight? Come on, brother. I'm just saying, we don't do enough of the history check to find out what the deal is.
Hey, powerful, Elder. Hey, Brother Sean, you still here? I think the brother muted his mic. I don't know. I think his mic muted. But that was powerful, Elder. Maybe get a brother time to come back. I don't know. Maybe he's going to get some sources or something. I don't know what the brother's doing. But again, if y'all like what's going on, man, the video, is going down tonight, man, having a great conversation. Now, until the brother get back, do anybody got anything they want to add to the conversation so far that you heard? Go ahead, Neb. I'm gonna mute my stuff. Go ahead.
I'm just text me, man. We ain't meet you up, man. Get back online. Anyway, you believe in the Bible, sir? I got one question. Y'all hear me good? Y'all hear me good?
You sound far away.
Yeah, you sound far away, bro, but we can hear you, but you need to get a little closer to the mic.
All right. Well, check this out. All right, son, I got a question. This is in the Bible now. Now, say to me, I want my son. I'm going to Exodus chapter 8, verse 7. Okay? I'm going to go to 6 first. And Aaron stretched out his hand over the water of Egypt. And the frogs came up and covered the land of Egypt. And 8, verse 7, Exodus, right? Verse 7 says, and the magicians did so with their enchantment and brought up frogs upon the land of Egypt. And these people of God, magicians. You know what we talked about earlier? About voodoo, magic, and all this African spirituality, okay? Y'all hear me? Explain that.
You said what now? I can barely hear you, man. What did you say now? Hello? What was your question?
Do you believe in magic?
No, not really. No. Not voodoo type stuff, no. I mean, I know people do it. It's real.
Okay, I see. But your Bible says he sends people to use as magicians. Now listen, Exodus 8, 6. And Aaron stretched out his hand over the waters of Egypt, and the frogs came up and covered, and the magicians did so with their enchantment and brought up frogs upon the land of hand over, and the magicians, okay? This is the Bible, King James.
No.
You don't sent Moses and Aaron this is your Bible.
Believe in what I'm trying to figure out what y'all believe in. I always, every time I talk to Kemetic guys, I never find out what they believe in. So I'm trying to figure out, because of whatever you would call them, if you want to call them Kemetic, whatever you want to call it, they believed in certain things. So I'm trying to see, there were gods that they, believed in. Other brothers said they didn't believe in those types, deities or whatever. Just a lot of people trying to use fancy words, or somebody saying, yeah, I hear you saying, I know that, but I asked the question.
Okay, so let me share this with you, man. Right, we believe in the virtues of Ma'at, and right, and Ma'at is the female that you see that has wings. This is where the Europeans got the concept of you see, right, with wings, and we believe in her virtues. Like, for example, she has 7 principles: the principle of truth, justice, harmony, balancement, order, reciprocity, and propriety. So we believe, which is the control of thoughts, control of action, right? Devotion of purpose, having faith in the ability of your teacher to teach you, right? And have faith and just wield the truth as it comes to you. But then we have what we call and this is where you get the concept of the 10 Commandments. See, because if Moses existed, we know that he came out of Egypt. That means that he spent in Egypt. So now listen to this. These are the admonitions of the goddess Ma'at. The first one: I have not committed sin. I have not committed robbery with violent women. I have not stolen food. I have not swindled offerings. I have not stolen from God. I have not told lies. These, and I can go on. This way you get the 10 Commandments come out of the 42 admonitions to God's mouth. Remember now, when Moses, if there was a Moses, right? Remember, right? They say he murdered somebody. How do they know to use that term, murder? Because it had already existed in Egypt that thou shalt not kill. It was already there in the 42 admonitions. Now, it was taken out of Kemet and put to able to formulate what we call a Christian doctrine.
But they weren't called Christian back then. So what you talking about?
Well, it was called Christian. It was called Christian. If you look at the book of Acts of the Apostles, it's Antioch. So they were Christians. They were called Christians. The people prior to the disciples and Acts being called Christians, there were people who followed either tribal people. They was either of the tribe of Levi, because Levi was your law-given tribe. they were ones. All your prophets came out of Levi. They was tasked with the responsibility to upkeep the law and to the prophesied. There you have so-called Jews who are waiting for this Messiah to return, right? So they were tribal people. You had people that was and Yehoshua, didn't come out of Levi like all your other prophets. That's one of the reasons why they say they denied who he was. But he said, "I only come to the lost sheep of the house of Israel only." And what people have done, Paul, right, the self-proclaimed 13th apostle.
Exactly.
And his mother was
talking about that earlier.
So he was about bringing his father's people into the fold. That's why he tried to make it a universal thing. You understand? So now, but what did he do? He came. He went against everything that Yeshua taught. Yeshua said, "Don't eat pork." He said, "Don't eat pork."
Right.
Paul said it's all right. You understand? The Most High, who you call God, say there's no day better than the other. I mean, he said there's one day better than the other. He called it the Sabbath. He changed everything around. He changed everything, and this is the same book that you following.
Wait a minute. You don't know what you see. You never asked me what I follow, because one of the guys was talking earlier, and I had false prophet. But the thing is, so wait a minute. So you trying to? I think what you're trying to do is put me in a category with a lot of people.
Brother.
Now, yeah, you is, because you just said that this is the book that I follow. I don't follow Paul book.
I said
Paul was talking to Roman people. He wasn't talking to my people.
When I say you, I'm saying you no different than how you say we. You said this is what we believe. You included me in that too, brother. So we have conversation. So I don't mean you per se. I'm saying the people who follow that book. You understand? That's what I mean. So I want to clear that. I'm not calling you a Christian, or I don't know what your religious persuasion are. I don't. I'm just making you aware of how this process goes. And how it got tricked up. And we can say the other half is real. We got to understand that it was a targeted, misconception of the teachings of Kemet. That's what I'm saying, brother. These teachers came out of Kemet, and they were misunderstood by a lot of interreligions. You understand the whole concept of going to see the Father, life after death.
But it was okay. Let me just say that this was before Kemet.
No.
So you can't say it came. Hold on, wait a minute. You can really look at it. It was before Kemet was established.
Tell me what was before Kemet. Tell me what was before Kemet.
The knowledge of the gods.
The knowledge of the gods.
Where do you think they come
Where did
from?
gods come from?
Like, why would you ask me something?
Where did gods come from?
Number one, gods are spirit, right? Gods are a spirit. We talked about this earlier.
When you say gods,
right?
we're talking about gods.
Well, you know what I'm talking about. Man.
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
You don't understand what I'm talking about. Ain't no need to talk.
You
should know what I'm talking about. I'm going to use the word God. And I understand what you're talking about, but if you don't understand what I'm talking about, ain't no need to talk.
Listen to this, right? Okay. I said, so let me bring it back to you. I said, we don't call those divine entities gods. I said, mere men call themselves gods. See, because we're talking about being, coming in the light of anthropomorphic entities. You understand? So when we talk about the divine who creates all the multiverses that you see, all the galaxies, right? To use the word God is sufficient. It's like a slap in the face, because men are calling themselves gods. Do you understand? Say the Most High. If you go into Psalm,
I use the Most High, but you know what I'm talking about, because I use that. But like I don't know, brother. How would you know? You hear the content. This brother know what you mean.
I know what you're talking about, brother.
This dude know what. How do you not know what we're talking
earlier?
Let me answer your question, brother.
God in Egypt, because we use the word Netir.
I'm not using that word. Okay, I'm not going to use the word. I asked this question.
That's the word of God.
That's the word y'all using, but you don't understand what I'm talking about, man. I'm out of here. Y'all stupid. If you can't understand what people talking about, and if you can't understand what I'm talking about, I'm not for you. Why are you acting?
All right, y'all. Look, I muted everybody, y'all. Y'all stop talking. Listen, I muted everybody because I gotta get control. All right, now I don't want Sean to leave. Sean, don't leave yet, brother. Right now, because it's getting. Sean, I understand what you mean, but I also understand what the elder and Eric is saying also. Because when you say God, that's a watered down version of Neteru to somebody that practice Kemetic spirituality. So I understand both sides, okay? I understand, because in regular terms, we know what God means. Yeah, we know. But when you speak it from a word God that we use, because it's a different inclination when you use the word God. So, you know what I'm saying? But for the point of conversation, y'all, let me quarterback real fast. I want Julie to unmute her mic, and I want Julie to comment, because y'all was speaking about Paul and how Paul changed the teachings. So I want Julie to come in and comment to kind of like to add some spice to this thing.
Right. First of all, this God, net, whatever, Most High, it doesn't make a difference. Those who believe in Yahweh, he knows who he's are. Do you understand? Those who believe in whatever God you want to believe in, those gods know who you are. So whatever you want to call it, doesn't matter. I believe in Yeshua HaMashiach. He knows my voice. I know his voice. That's it. Whether I call him God, Yeshua, Yahweh, it doesn't matter. He knows my voice. I know his voice. End of story. So you can argue about names. It doesn't make a difference. It's folly. It really is. As for Paul, I don't think he changed anything. I just think he was on a next level. You can serve God. I'll just use the term God for now. If you want to serve God on a Saturday, Sunday, it's up to you. Totally up to you. Paul was on the next level because those things are just signs of things. It's just a sign and a remembrance for the future. Everything is prophetic. So it doesn't matter what you do. It bears, how can I put it? It has no importance in the great scheme of things, if I'm making sense. I hope I'm making sense to someone. Someone respond, please.
Can I ask you a question then?
Yeah.
You said it doesn't matter, so it doesn't matter to you, right?
What doesn't matter? What doesn't matter?
Oh, okay. Well, they was talking about the God issue.
Yeah.
See, I want to explain that before is another way of saying the Netaru, but
yeah,
it's a spiritual thing. You know what I mean? We was connected with the universe and everything. But getting back to you with the dealing with your people, and it doesn't matter. See, what we try in Egyptian is they left some history for us because they knew that we was going to be brainwashed into believing something other than our history. So we can go back in Kemet and see all this on the wall. You know, it's been up there for thousands of years. And I just can't see how you just going to say if you understand that we is being brainwashed. I don't know if you do or not, but you get your chance to speak on that. Thing is, if you do have that understanding of we're being brainwashed into a different way of life, how can you just say it doesn't matter? Is losing knowledge of their history. That will make me feel some type of way. So I would never say it doesn't matter.
It depends on who I'm speaking to. If I'm speaking to someone who only knows the God of Abraham as God, I will use educated, but higher up in that kind of thing, and they use a certain term, I will honor them and use the same term with them. It just depends on who I'm speaking to, but I know who I'm speaking about from my heart. What's in my heart doesn't change. It just depends on the person I'm speaking with.
Okay. So, leaving Yeshua.
Yeah.
Is there any
people
way
call
that
him Jesus? I can use Jesus.
Physically he was here?
I believe so. I can't say I know so because I wasn't here, but I believe so.
Oh, okay. Well, you're just going off a belief system.
No, not really, because right now you can see the situation exactly as it was prophesied. So you can say belief, but the situation we're in now worldwide, it was prophesied happening. So, do you have any prophecies from Kemet?
Oh, okay, like what? Because I'm listening to what you said, and it kind of sound kind of confusing to me, though. And I asked you, did you believe this? And I asked you, do you know for sure or not? And you said no. So.
But I can't. But I was.
No, go at this with you. You said something about you was not sure, and you basically just can't tell anything about it. I came down to Egypt and show you all of this that exists all these thousands of years. This is a fact. This ain't nothing I'm thinking about, or we can go there right now and see it.
That's true, but how do you know that all those inscriptions on the wall are real? They could have, every nation hypes up their own importance. We're in a season of great news reports that's claiming this and that, and none of it's true. But they're giving it out as complete fact. No, the Egyptians weren't the same, just as deceptive as the people now. They're working off the same system. It's the same mindset. It's an Egyptian mindset that's going.
I wouldn't necessarily say that because, you know, these people's minds was way advanced than, you know what I'm saying, to say that that didn't exist. I mean, we still even got a lot of their ways, you know, just like, you know, the brothers was and period of time, you know what I'm saying, that shows and prove, you know, that certain things couldn't exist, but, you know, this is a system. And we kind of lost knowledge of ourselves. So if the Europeans is trying to wash up everything about what happened, you know what I'm saying, because most of all that writing came off an Egyptian wall. You can go down there and see the same exact words, but you know what I'm saying? They're not in like alphabets or numbers, but we have understanding to them that puts what's on that wall into the.
So you saying that?
So what's the prophecy do you have from Egypt? It should be telling us about what's going on now. If the Bible was plagiarized, yes, everything that's in the Bible now should be on the walls of Egypt, and it should be telling us.
Right.
So what is about to happen?
All right. If you go down there, from maybe like the time limit of when they started writing what was on the wall into this time, right on them walls that's happening right now at this time right now.
Like what?
Really?
Let me help you out. It's a lot of stuff on the wall that you can look at as far as today, and that's the main thing that y'all.
No, there's more going on than just going into a new age.
Listen, can I just say what I gotta say, man? Can I just say what I gotta say now? To an ion, a different ion, and that's why originally people thought we was talking about it was gonna be the end of the world. Early 2000s, you know, the prophet coming to the world coming to. I can show you plenty of prophecies, but I will have to show you. Also, you got the prophecies of us coming into America on slave ships into America.
What stele is it on?
Oh, bro, hold on. That's on the walls of Kemet. All over. If you know the story about Sar and Set, if you know the story of a Sar and Set, and it went down the ocean and hit the tree stump, if you know that story is where the story of us getting put into slavery and coming down the sea, coming to America, that's breaking us down all day long. Now, when you want to talk about these so-called things happening, like, let's look at what happened in Syria, where Damascus fell. It was in the Bible. It was talking about Damascus. So you gotta also, and now I'm gonna get off because I got something I need to do, and I ain't trying to do this. I'm letting everybody else do it. But just put it like this: it's there if you want to look for it. It's there, fight as the Bible, because you gotta understand that the Bible was the storytelling of Kemet being brought. Like that's the Kemetic story in a sense, and with the Greeks, and they put it in their own words. So it's a continuation of the story. It's just been with the Greeks getting a hold of it and now putting it in the Bible or the Pelon. Now, y'all can go ahead. I got to go. But listen, y'all go ahead. I'll be right back. Y'all talk. Enjoy yourself. Elder Ramesh, you get it at Mona. I realize you've been real quiet, Mona.
But you know, I'm a different species. For me, I mean, I'm just listening. It's not, you know, the word, to me, it's all about language. I've just heard a bunch of debate almost about language. And for me, I don't get caught up on religion or language, whether we say Allah, God, whatever. I grew up on the Bible. You can rip the Bible up. 66 chapters, 72, 84 all day long. It starts where the first man has started from, Egypt, period. When you look at and then you look at the T to give them something and you can't back it up and just own it, is what I see is the problem. I mean, they're all connected. You go to the Quran, you go to the Holy Bible, you see names change and foundation things are the same. You see things are taken out just like now, but your spirit, if your spirit's connected to a higher power that we know is energy, that itself, and once you connect, should tell you what's truth or not. And to me, so I don't do these type of debates where we know where it started. Even somebody read the Bible all they like know where it started. You can lie to yourself, and that's just my opinion. And I respect everyone, but we know where it started. It started on those walls. It has the same, and it was continued. So when Constantine went and he started wars and wars, so we do have a construct of Joshua and Jesus. Same thing. When you go to the Catholic Church, what do they use? The holy what? Oh, Bible. But they got Mary up there for you to worship her. When we talking about the bull is the mother without aunt, father, and child, and we took child out. But I don't debate. I just listen.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello? Oh. My question is this, because I don't think nobody touched it. I guess some the Kemetic nation is pretty much the oldest in civilization, I guess. I don't really know why, but anyways, do you know the Mesopotamian civilization? And do you know that cuneiform was the first language, or is that not so? I'm speaking to, what's his name? Let's see. Eric. Is he?
Well, look, man, I'm gonna just tell y'all, Gate, you false. You wrong. The cuneiform do not predate the metal Netter. It is Mesopotamia and the Egyptians were cousins because they all come from Sudan.
But they spoke two different languages. Their cousins.
But when they moved in two different areas,
and they just start speaking to their cousins, but they just start speaking two different languages.
Can you listen? If you understand, I came up to now. So Egypt ain't the beginning. It didn't start in Egypt. It started in South Africa, and it moved away. Actually, what's called Kemet. But when you look into Nubia, you look at the Nubians, you will understand they were cousins. They were first cousins.
So their first cousins, they just go to speak in two different languages. How was that? That's not even.
The elder remembers telling you what it is. They actually will.
It don't make sense though. If I have a cousin, and I don't care, they just gonna. My first cousin just gonna go to speak in another language.
You know people that stay in New York and people that stay down south. This time,
no man, that is not the same. This is what I'm saying. Your two cousins, it's no other than years ago or something like that. And you just go walk over here. My first cousin. Where did they get? Where did they get the other language?
Where you lost that?
Where did they get the other language?
When they went to the area,
who was the people that got the language from?
They all came together and they mashed the language, man. Like what part of history?
So they just gonna come up, man. Come on, it don't make sense.
Gentlemen, King.
Yes.
Can I say something? Let's talk about language. And we know that could be. Have you with 21 and 3 CRI ancestry.com? It's changed quite frequently. You talk about Mesopotamia, all that it was changed. So when you have your mention, they'll say something like Yoruba Africa, talk about a certain region, Eastern, and they're related over here to the natives, which is not Indians. And once your family blend a child or a different language of whatever tribe what they spoke, you have all these Native Americans and some of them had two languages. So that's not far-fetched. I just want to bring that point out, religion. So I've had my DNA done. If you have that done, I mean, it's not going to give you everything to look at. You'll see, yes, that is so. I mean, somebody can be a first cousin and they talk just like we change based on adaptation and that type of evolution. We change. And I'm sorry, I am a history teacher as well. So some of those certain things, the psychology, I just put all those concepts together.
Right. But my thing was, if a person gonna change language, and that's your first cousin. Now we're not talking about just. I'm saying, okay, and someone said, well, it was people already there. Well, who was those people that helped them change their language?
How about this? How about Abraham had a son named Isaac? Then he had another son named Ishmael, who they say spoke Arabic. And he had another son called my father Abraham.
What I just said was cuneiform. Y'all said it wasn't so. Those languages came out of cuneiform language, which was in Mesopotamia. Now, if you sense, because now you're saying that, hey, Abraham had this kid from there, that's cool, but that language from that language. Well, how can you say that?
Not,
they just go somewhere
true,
and just start talking some ask you what people taught them this language, and you couldn't give me a language.
No. And
I did ask you.
You didn't ask me. I asked you. I was muted.
I asked you. You said what people.
I just came back on, but
you were talking to somebody that was just talking to me, brother.
It was Stuart.
But being that the time will understand, they say Adam's physical body was created at the junction of the two Niles, right? The junction of the two Niles. Now there's Ethiopia, right? And then there's the white Nile that comes out of Tanzania, Uganda, and this is where the book of Africans came from, the beginning of the Nile. Up in Uganda, Tanzania. This is on the planet. Go back, they call her Lucy. We call it something like 3.7 million years old. So folks in East Africa, they go way before the Babylonian and Mesopotamian area. Because like I said,
what language do they speak?
Listen. The language I can tell you, but let me. So now, when Adam's physical body was created, if there was an Adam, it's called Darman. Darman is in Sudan. So what language they speak, and they speak West African languages like Fulani, Igbo, and West Africa. A lot of them resemble black here in America, in Western Africa, and not to mention that a lot of them came from there before the slave trade began because they wound up in Central the Olmec heads, those Africoid heads, what they found in Central America. But we know we have came up as Olmec, as Aztecs, Incas, Mayas, and found their way up into North America. You can read about it. So we already know that there were blacks over here in North America from Africa that became known as Native Americans, the five Washita, and they were black. So those languages began to evolve over the geography. You know, so we have subsets of languages as time, you know, reveals it. So, and that's why I gave you depending on where you go,
That
it's like
was
saying,
not the question that I asked, but thanks for the history lesson. But that was not
Can
the
I
question
just
that I asked.
add that Abraham's sons spoke the same language as Abraham's, but they were the languages. Like Ishmael was the father of the Arabs and stuff like that. So they entirely spoke in the same language as his father. They didn't speak completely different languages.
Right.
That's ridiculous.
Whatever language they spoke, they said. So if Hagar was an Egyptian, Hagar, if she was an Egyptian, she speak to be able to converse with Abraham. What language? What language? You understand? And did she speak a different? Didn't get caught up in the semantics of playing language, but that's not really important.
That was
that's
a question that I asked.
Like for example, I didn't hear you.
No, you didn't answer that question. Did you hear the question I asked? The question was the cuneiform language. Remember, had said that these people was cousins, right?
They said what?
And
They said what?
he said that these folks was cousins. People already there. I guess he got the language from. I said, who the people? Hello?
The people that were where? I didn't catch you.
Okay, let's just move past
you
that.
know, it's kind of
because it can fluctuate. Now, the next one is the.
I'm sorry, it's kind of interesting. It's kind of like what Judy said. If you read two chiefs, they learned how to converse, even though they brought two. They was multilingual. If you look at Africa now, it'll be a tribal language, but they may.
Hey guys, welcome to.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
It depends on, you know, it's almost, that's here in North Carolina in Halifax County. You go to Hollywood, Native Americans that look really predominantly white. When the census came around, when they looked one way just to escape certain things, one, they could be right across the street, and they were Black Americans. It was, you know, depending on the culture and where you were, you kind of started speaking more of that language, just like we speak English. So,
some phone is going off because it's another company. Yeah, TV, somebody got a TV going on. That's better. I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you, sis. That's why I mentioned.
Thank you. I couldn't hear myself.
Yeah.
But you know, I mean, when I look at it, and I had those same questions, I think it's Mr. Sean too. I had the same questions, but I looked at it. Certain things, I mean, to me, I just have to take all that, so many different languages, because you would have different chiefs and, you know, tribal leaders.
Right.
You had Queen of Sheba and you had Solomon. They would two different empires, two different countries. Quickly. I mean, even when you think about, like I said, African countries now been invaded, taken over, you'll have these tribal language, somebody speaks tribal language, and then French. Probably really the way. We're the only ones, they say, Americans the worst. We're probably about the worst as far as behind everyone else now with something I think was good. Multi-language, we the ones that have been handicapped on so many fronts, honestly.
Yeah. When you look at the trade routes, right? The people who sold their goods at the trade routes had to be able to be to sell products. It's like in Mecca. Mecca, where, you know, before you even come from Ur of Chaldea, from Mesopotamia, you're going to come through Mecca. And Mecca was, you know, you had so many different, you know, caravans, you know, especially when they were making Hajj, you know, back in the day. So you had multiple languages. In Africa, the same thing. You know, it's no different than if you go to old Senegambia, right, which is a trade route. You'll find a person there might speak 7 or 8 different languages because of the people they come into contact with. You know, so that's a norm. That's a norm. And it might sound like a different language. It might be the same language because, you know, when you listen to a person from England speak and you listen to a person from America speak, the English is really different. The language, especially if you're speaking with rhythm and speed. You say, oh, wait, what did you say? I didn't catch that. You know, you get somebody from the islands and speaking with a heavy patois, you can't understand them. You say it's a different language. Could be the same family.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Let me ask you a question because you said that you believed in Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. Okay, you got your Bible?
Yeah.
Okay, so listen. So Paul, he condemns Jesus, right, and his disciples for false teachers, right? You go to 1 Corinthians 11 and 14, you can see that. He condemns Jesus, right? Something that the Bible approves of in Numbers 6:5 and in Judges 13:5. It's approved in the Bible. God approves that, right? Jesus said, keep the Sabbath. That's in Mark 2:27. He said circumcise male children. That's Luke 2:21. He said that in Romans 2:26. That's going against what Jesus said in Luke 2:21. So who do you follow? Now, if Paul is saying, you go into 1 Corinthians 15:1. Paul says that he was not given them anything but, you know, what he preached. He explained this. And it reads, that which I speak it not after the Lord, but it was foolishly in his confidence of boasting. That's what he says. He's telling you, I can go down the list to the list to the list where Paul is saying one thing and Jesus is saying another. So if they contradicting one another, which one do you believe?
They're not contradicting at all. You gave a whole list about long hair. I don't know about Jesus wearing long hair. I don't know who that is. I don't know who you're talking about. I don't know what Jesus looks like, so I can't say he had Corinthians and the long hair business. I don't know what are you talking about. It says it's talking about covering your hair. So I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. What I was really saying is that there's contradictions in what Paul is saying as opposed to what Jesus is saying. And so I mean, you can't serve two masters. You either hate one or love the other. And I'm saying Paul is saying, he's saying one thing, and then Jesus is saying something else. Jesus says that he come not to destroy the law, but to fulfill the law. He says that. Matter of fact, he said, not one jot or one tittle shall be removed from the law until all be fulfilled. So I'm saying that if you believe in Paul and you believe in Jesus, which one do you really believe in? Because they're both saying different things.
They're not. It's just that one's on a different level. As in, no, Jesus, how can I put it? There was a law. Jesus died. Jesus fulfilled the law. That does not mean you stop believing in the law. He just consolidates. You will not steal. If you love, you will not cheat. If you love, you will not lie. I'm talking about lie to you. If I say I love you, I'm not going to steal from you and go through the list. So he said, love God with all your heart. The moment you do that, you love your neighbor as yourself. Like I said, if I love you, all the things that are wrong to do against you, I won't do it. So it isn't a contradiction idea that Jesus had long hair. I don't understand.
Elder Ramessi, can I jump in? I know Neb want to get in, so I'm going to let Neb get in, but let me say something, y'all. We done all this language. It's written.
Exactly.
For one. So let me clear up something that I said earlier. Them speaking a different language, and cuneiform ain't even language, it's just written, man. But what I meant, the Egyptians were first cousins. That's what I meant to say. The Sumerians and the Egyptians were first cousins. They were speaking, but they wasn't speaking, when they got to Mesopotamia, they didn't speak cuneiform. Cuneiform was the written language. You're trying to say that cuneiform. I mean, you can respond, but that's what I wanted to say about the cuneiform. We had a whole conversation about cuneiform, and it ain't even a spoken language. About Paul, where we all know the story of Paul, we understand that on the road to Damascus, who was chasing Paul? The Roman army was after Paul. And when Paul got into Syria, into Antioch, he knew that he had a new revelation because they would have chopped his head off. Because Paul was persecuting Christians at first. So that when Paul was on the road to Damascus and when he got to Antioch, he had to have a revelation. Because if not, unless he had something new to teach. And that's just that. I'm sorry. I'm just going to sum it up real. On that road, Paul had to have a revelation. Because if not, they would have chopped his head off. To Antioch, the Syrian, or Syriac, they would have killed him there. And y'all can go ahead.
But you're right. You're right about that because, even on the road to Damascus, he had like 3 different stories. He said first, in that same chapter 21, he said he saw the vision, but didn't hear the voice. He heard the voice, but didn't see the vision. He got it all confused. You know what I mean? So, and then he said, even in that same verse, he said he lied to get your obedience. He's saying that straight out. But here's my question to Julie. Show me or tell me where could I find in the scriptures where it said Jesus came and he fulfilled the law. He came and he fulfilled the law. Show me that.
So sorry. There are, it's a long thing. There are Sabbaths. Everybody knows the seventh-day Sabbath. There's 7 years. It's fulfilled up to Pentecost. There are 3 more holy days that are not fulfilled yet. And that's so he has fulfilled the law, but there's still a little bit of way to go because he has to return.
Show me where it says that. Show me where it says that in the scripture, Julie. Because in 21:5 it says you got to prove all things. So show me in the scripture where it says distinctly that he came and he fulfilled the law.
I can't show you.
You can't show me
one
that.
thing.
You know why?
It does, but it's not one thing. It's not one. The whole story of the Bible.
When you say law, when you say the law, you're talking about laws. You're talking about
there's 613. 613.
Okay, so okay, what I say 635. So I was off a few. Okay, what I'm saying to you, me in the scripture, and I know you can't because it's not written. That's hearsay. When they say
it's not hearsay.
When show me in the scripture where it says that he
because it's not one verse. It's just not one verse. I can't.
You can't.
It tells you there's a Passover.
Because
it tells you that.
No, the Passover.
No, it's part of the law. There's a Passover, and they say, kill a lamb, do this, do that. what God was showing them
not
is
the same as what I'm talking about. Jesus,
it is.
Yeshua said, this is what he said. He said, not one jot or one tittle shall be. What he's saying is that you have to follow all of the law. He said, follow all of the law. And people who break the law are making excuses because they're saying, oh, well, he came, so, we're not under the law no more. That's what Paul said.
I never said that. But anyway.
I said that's what Paul's Catholicism, they say the same thing with no proof. No doubt.
But I'm giving you the proof, but you don't believe it.
Either I don't believe anything. Either I know or I don't know.
But I'm telling you, but you're not believing what I'm saying then? Because I'm saying there's a Passover, and that was part of the law. There's 3 different types of laws. But it's not one scripture, it's a whole story.
No, that's not true, Julie. That is not true. That's being disingenuous.
No, I'm not.
That's being disingenuous.
Passover in the Old Testament is a preview of the Passover in the New Testament.
If I say to you, right, if I'm counting in Hebrew. Wahid, that's 1.
Yeah.
Ismail, that's 2. Salata, that's 3. Arbat is 4. Khamsa is 5. Sita is 6. Sabbath is 7 days. Everything makes sense mathematically in the language. So if I'm saying to you, right, that we're following the Sabbath because Sabbath means 7.
Yeah.
So if I'm saying to you that we no longer are under the law, it must be a place that says we are like that. Then what you're telling me is that I should believe. When Yeshua said, ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. He didn't say you should believe the truth. He said you should know it. Because once you can believe something up until you find out the truth. I can say a suit on with a pink bow tie, and I could believe it all day long until I get up, open the door and say, oh, you know what? Ain't nobody even out here. Now I know. I moved from believing to knowing.
So should I change should I change my words then? Then I know who fulfilled the Passover. I know who
show me where
fulfilled
it says that. Show me where it says that. Show me where it says that. Show me where it says that. If you know, epistemology is the science of knowing, because it begs the question, how do you know? That's epistemology. So now, I mean, how? Because in order for you to tell me how, you have to show me something that's legible, readable. I can touch it with my hands. It's intrinsic. It's fantasy. Otherwise, it's fairy tale.
I've told you, there's a whole narrative of the Passover, and then you get to the New Testament, and then Jesus dying or Yeshua dying. That's the ceremony, the sacrificial law over with. He's the sacrificial lamb once and for all. That's a part of the law.
Show me in the scriptures under the law. That's what I'm asking.
But you don't want me to use.
Show me in the Bible. Show me where it says. Listen, Julie. Show me where it says we are no longer. If you go back and you read the 5 books of Moses, the Tanakh, you're going by that book, and you said for yourself, there's 613 commandments. You're right, but most people only follow 10. Why? Because they want to follow 10.
Nothing like that. No. Laws, sacrificial or ceremony. Sacrificial, yes. The law of the land and the moral
I'm asking you to show me in the Bible where it distinctly says we
don't
are.
say that.
So you're dealing with a belief then.
But
it's not
I'm giving you, but you're not hearing.
I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you loud and clear. I'm hearing you loud and clear. Do
you
hear me? Go back
and one verse that I can't, and I can't.
What
do you want me to use? Because you're telling me I can't use the Bible, so I don't understand what you want.
I'm asking you. Listen. It's for nobody.
Yeah.
Okay. It says that.
Yeah.
It says thou shalt not.
Oh, he'll be back. He'll be back. He'll be back. That we under a new covenant. The old covenant has to be gone.
Yes.
And we under a new covenant.
100.
And so, all right. I'm gonna
go on.
You know, I like the message, Julie, right? So it happened to those people that when the elder back, I can get away. Go ahead, let him get in here. Because you know
you gonna let me go?
Hello?
Yeah, I'm still I lost connection.
Okay, yeah, you back now. We hear you and see you.
I'm good.
Oh, hello, sir.
I forgot what I was saying now.
Can I carry on? Before you carry on. The old covenant, it doesn't save you from anything. It doesn't do anything. It just highlights your sin. Do you understand?
I know what you're saying because that's a Christian concept, but that doesn't necessarily mean that's what's really going on.
The creator of the covenant had a greater purpose in mind, but the people didn't get it. Yeshua had to return. Didn't get it. All they saw, they turned it into a religion, and that's not what he wanted.
Well, Julie, most people. That's why we have wars today, because most people don't call in a Messiah and whether he died or didn't die on a cross. Okay, all I'm saying to you, right, is that, you know, you can't expect an intelligent person to be analytical, you know, to be able to be objective in things that are presented to that individual. So now when you're saying something, especially if being somewhere life after death, you can't expect somebody just to believe something without having substantiated proof. And the proof of that is in the Bible. When you read 1 Thessalonians, chapter 21st verse, it says, prove all things. That means you don't take things. It said, when you see that spirit, test that spirit to see if it's from the Most High. To believe a Christian concept without showing me any proof. That doesn't make any sense.
You've got to prove it yourself.
But then how do I know?
can't
How do
prove
I
it
know?
for
It's
you.
true? I don't believe it because I'm past that, Julie. I'm saying to you, if we're having a conversation,
You're not past. You're not past it.
Living in what?
He doesn't believe in Paul.
No, Paul was a deceiver. Paul was a deceiver. Paul was a deceiver.
He's not a deceiver, so there's no way you can keep Sabbath from persecution.
How do you believe in a man who never met Yeshua, never met him,
Neither
right? Never even hung out with his, made up all that stuff. He met Yeshua. If he hung out with Barnabas, then how come his own scripture? In fact, the Gospel of Barnabas talks about the.
I don't go by that. We're not going. But no, I'm not. Forget Barnabas.
If you read the book, he hung out with Barnabas, and Barnabas has a totally different script. Barnabas is contradicting Paul, but yet
he doesn't. Huh?
Listen. If you read the Gospel of Barnabas, it will tell you that Christ never died on a cross.
I'm not reading the Gospel. Well, I've read it, but I don't. Nah.
Not only that, also Matthew talks about Jesus not dying on the cross.
Go on and give me that one. This one's
when
funny.
It says, "Touch me not, for I have not yet a southern. I have a sin." It says, "Touch me not."
I'll tell you. Let me answer that. Supposedly on that cross, look to the two people on his side, and he said, "This day, today, a couple of days later, how does he come and say, 'Touch me, for a spirit have not flesh and blood'?" As a matter of fact, when he was in the Mary Magdalene, and he said to her, because he saw her crying, he said, "Woman, they took my Lord, and I know not where to find him." He said to her, "Why are you seeking the living amongst the?" This is the one that he saved her from being stoned. So she knew him. How could she have a comment? Of course, he was in disguise because they took the wrong person. They took the wrong, and guess what? They're coming out of the book of Gospel of Barnabas. Go read the Gospel of Barnabas. You gotta read, brother. You gotta read.
Sean,
you can get. Go to Barnes and Noble. Go to Barnes and Gospel of Barnabas and see if they trip.
Okay,
Sean, what you mean? So, if you read where Christ went to, let's talk about resurrection just for 1 second. If you don't believe that, go back and read your Egyptiology, because they talked about. So don't act like it ain't never happened before. So let's jump back here. Hold on, man.
I said, "Didn't have not yet risen." But go and tell my brother.
He said, "I have not." This was after they went into his tomb. And
what did he say? What did he say to the thief on his left? He said, "This day,
he went to a place, and he was in that place. He wasn't with the Father. He was not. He was resurrected. Touch me not. I have not.
I got y'all now.
Because y'all don't even understand. It's many. What is it? 3 different heavens. How you gonna go to heaven? There's a place that you go because the scriptures talks about it. If you think
that's fairy tale,
look. Let me tell you this. Your Egyptiology don't speak of people being resurrected.
So you admitting that you got jacked from the.
You tripping? You just love to talk, because the whole thing is
you're admitting it now.
What are you talking about?
It came from Egypt.
Well, what about the people in Peru that did the same things?
Listen.
So you can't just. You got to understand that too. So if you want to talk
before there was a Peru.
Look,
all life came out of Africa.
Because you don't see nothing before that.
I told you that the Peru and the Egyptians. How you think we get bananas? Bananas. I just told you.
Bananas.
I'll tell you what they traded.
Listen.
If you know anything, Ahmed, he is who they call in Ramses II. He's set in 19.
And it's still written.
Listen. In 1972, they took him. They took him to France. They took his body to France to the museum called the French Museum.
That make you think that you're Egyptian, though. You don't have no
I'm West
factual proof
African,
that you're
and
Egyptian.
they don't want me to start talking about West
You can talk
Africa
about
because
anybody
I
you
never
want to
said
talk.
I'm
Prove that
Egyptian.
you're
I'm West
Egyptian.
African.
I never said I never said that.
And now,
Prove it.
I can tell you,
You can't. You study
Well,
talking about. You study talking about from each. Prove your DNA is Egyptian.
of the Khan.
Whatever you're talking about, I asked you a question. Prove that you're
Is that your
Egyptian.
way? Is that your way of? Is that your way
No,
of
you can't
conceding,
prove
brother,
it.
that you
You're
don't
not.
have
You're
the truth?
talking about
Is that
everything else, but you won't
is that
say
your way of
God.
conceding
You're
that you don't
not
have the
claiming.
truth,
You're
brother?
not proving what you are.
Is that your way
You
of
just
conceding?
saying it, right?
Is that your way of
You
conceding?
don't have it because you can't even speak it. Every time I ask you a question, you get to talking.
What do you want me to say,
history
brother?
lessons.
I
You guys
prove?
are true believers.
Now let me say, can you prove that you? Since you that sound good, but can you prove that you're Egyptian? And what that? So what that got? Can you prove that you're Egyptian? You don't learn to.
It's speaking Arabic. Why are you speaking Arabic?
Come on
I
now.
asked you
Come
a
on now.
question. Prove.
You're speaking. You're speaking Arabic. I live amongst many Muslims. I understand that.
It's Arabic.
Muslims. I live amongst Muslims. That's definitely Arabic.
Arab means a traveler, a wanderer. When you say
He learned a
Arab, you're
couple of
saying a
words
wanderer.
today.
Like
He's
an
just
automobile.
speaking Arabic.
I'm speaking
I hear that every day.
What's that?
Aramaic.
Y'all not with
No.
Hey, so
You
Sean,
do?
so let's
You
show.
do?
Hey, listen, that's what I
What
told
you
you.
worshiping it for then if you ain't Egyptian?
What you mean worship? I don't worship nothing.
Oh, you ain't.
And see,
You're not claiming you're
I
Kemetic.
told you this earlier, but obviously you don't be listening. When
I
people
didn't hear
talk
what you
to
said.
I told you that the knowledge came from the form thing. And you trying to say cuneiform writing was before the hieroglyphics because the hieroglyphic writing came from South Africa.
Who are you? Let me ask you this question. Who are you?
I want
What
you
is
to
your
listen.
tribe?
I want you to listen.
And when it came
tell
from
me
South, when it came from South Africa, it came through a and Tar Study has pyramids older than Egypt. Egypt is the
Egypt is the apex of the information, but it was further south. But listen, the West Africans still practice the Egyptian culture. They just call it this stuff. So
what are they practicing? Who practicing? So Somalians and the who you talking about?
Depending on is the deity of Wednesday. I'm telling you, the Khan Yah is the deity.
I'm still not getting.
What's your question?
What are you? What is your tribe?
I'm God. I'm gonna tell you, I'm God. And listen, and now
So
since you asked me, I can explain
that you are.
I'm gonna tell you how I prove. January this year, the God tribe accepted me in because we are lost. We don't know who can adopt you in the tribes.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to find an uncle, just like in a usually a family member will adopt you. And you can get adopted in lineage. You can go to Africa and you can get a tribe. So I have been adopted in. I'm officially.
But that's not your.
I'm gonna tell you why.
That's your.
No, I don't. But it don't
DNA.
matter. Reason why it don't matter is because uncles can adopt you when you lose your parents. So now, while you ask me who am I, guy?
I don't know who FAM. I ain't gonna lie like y'all like.
When they do your DNA, you will have hits on multiple tribes. It will not be one tribe, John. You're gonna have DNA is gonna hit multiple tribes.
That's why,
so it'll say.
That's why I said. That's why you can have your aunts or uncle that would adopt you. And they will raise you. So Americans, we really don't know what tribe we came from because we are amalgamation of indigenous people. We have all this in us. But when you go to Africa, you can officially God. This is no question. The king has adopted me in, and I'm officially a part of the God. It's not a question no more because they have adopted me. We have adopted. Yeah, our African king with a priest, and we went through the whole ceremony, and it's been done. That may not be your DNA.
But Eric, I want to ask you, man. Who are you?
I know, brother. You know? I know. Yeah, I certainly do, brother. Let me lineage that comes from your mother's side, and you have a part that comes from your father's side. So on my mother's side, she was a Cherokee by blood. So from my mother's side, more. Right, and from my father's side, my father's from Alabama, right, and most of the wound up in Georgia, Alabama, along that East Coast. So now, if they are coming over here like Mansa Musa, hundreds of years before Columbus got it and wound up in Alabama, that's on my father's side. So I claim American, by way of my grandmother.
Okay, that sounds logical.
And Native American will not be on your DNA like that either. It'll say Peruvian, like you just mentioned it earlier. They will not.
Yeah, well, they trace it through the mitochondrial DNA. They trace it to the. But when haplogroups. When you're dealing with haplogroups, right? You know, you're going to go with the haplogroups, or what they call this modern DNA thing. They have found that years ago, and people were doing DNA from one company, and they were saying, "Oh, you from this part of Africa." They're saying now these people are trying to mess around and play games. So you really can't really rely on. You look like, you know, if I'm looking at you, you look like if you want a Malian or Ethiopian East. I mean, I'm looking at your face. Or you got the features of somebody.
Well, yeah, that's in my DNA. It's most. I know exactly where, and you can't trust anything, but your spirit will tell you everything.
No doubt. You know,
I have Native American. What we say Native American. Who gave that name? Period. But who came up with Native American? You know?
We say Native American because Native call us Indians. You know, because Columbus got caught up and thought he was an Indian. But now,
the Native Americans and Indians are attached. When you go from Africa, Europe to Peruvian, the DNA is going to go back. Like Native Americans, we call them Indian, but even the Native Americans weren't the original people necessarily here. We had people from Africa.
I think we're saying the same thing, sister. Because what I'm saying is that North America, as a matter of fact, you have a tribe in Louisiana. They call themselves been to Africa because they're claiming lineage to when there was one continent called Pangea, but there was one continent. They say that when the continent, that's a Greek word, Pangea. We say the continent split, then they were never in Africa because they were born on this side of the globe from Louisiana, right? In fact, they try to claim that whole Louisiana purchase, but I'm great that Asians, you know, like Shem, they look like Genghis Khan, but they came down across the burn mixed with the indigenous people here, us. You know, so if you go down in Central America, like San Leventa, and look at the Africoid stones, you get them there. Where'd they come from? You understand? Them people were dealing with a superior science that allowed them to teleport those house. But those people look like me and you.
Hey, look,
and they can't.
Let's let Neb he's been waiting.
Oh, he was? I didn't know he was still there. I'm sorry.
Let's let Neb in, y'all.
I'm sorry, brother.
Y'all hear me good now?
Got you.
You're eating like I was. I'm not gonna get up here with y'all no more.
I want y'all to get your Bibles out, especially Julie and Sean.
No Bible.
Go get your Bible.
What you got to say? I'm tired, man.
Well, I'm gonna read it. I'm reading the Bible.
Don't read it.
All right. 2 Samuel 6:23. Therefore, Michelle, whatever, the daughter of Saul, had no child until the day of her. Ain't no contradiction, right? Word God, right? Undisputed. All right. The next one, right? But the king took the 2 sons of Rizpah, the daughter of Aiah, whom she bare to Saul. Or my 5 sons of Michelle, the daughter of Saul, whom she brought up from Israel, the son of Barzil and Mephrazite. See the contradiction? That's one verse. Second Samuel said, therefore Michal, the daughter of Saul, had no child until the day of her death. No child. No child, Marion. This ain't no Asiatic, none of that bullshit. This is your Bible. Okay? Therefore, Michal, the daughter of Saul, had no child. Samuel 6:23. She had no daughter, no son, no child until the day of death. I go to 2 Samuel, 21st chapter. Took the 2 sons of Rizpah, the daughter of Aiah, whom she bare to Saul, Armani and Mizabeth, and the 5 sons of Saul, whom she brought from Israel, the son. Tell y'all to suck my dick. Excuse my language. Sorry. That's a damn lie.
Hey,
yes, sir.
And now, John. First, how about John 1:18? It say, no man has seen God at any time. So the Lord standing upon the altar, right?
Right.
Now, you seen him or you didn't see him. Now, if you go to Nebjab and Abihu and the 70 elders of Israel went up and saw the God of Israel face to face.
I got some more scriptures, y'all. Hey, Julie. Hey, Christian. Hey, Hebrew. I got some more scriptures. You want to do it? Come on. In your Bible, White King James was a cracker.
Well, see, one thing about, let me tell you this, that right there is disrespectful, because now if I'm not going to cuss or disrespect nobody's belief in their system out of here,
let's keep,
that's what
I'm sorry. Explain the verses, man. I'm sorry.
I would have to read the verses. I'm not going to speak on it. High blood pressure pills.
Come on, man. Come on, brother.
You know what time it is, man?
Write them down, brother. Write them down.
You want some more verses, man? You want some more verses? I can give you, brother.
Look, I'm tired. You can give me any verses you want to.
But
I'm
jokes
tired,
aside,
man.
I thank everybody for coming up here tonight. It's been a long. You can come up here. I'd love to have a conversation with you. I think the next time we do this, we may need to get. I feel like it could be even, so it's not like everybody jumping on one or two person. Believe it or not,
you an unbiased person?
I am.
I'm biased. I'm very unbiased, bro.
You anchored in concrete. What you mean?
I'm about
I'm gonna keep 100 with you, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm gonna keep 100 with you.
want to get
With
the
your words,
cussing and
with
all
your
of that.
everything. But my bad for that. But I read in your book. I ain't go no Egyptian book.
Why not? Why
I
you
ain't
don't never go to the
nowhere.
Egyptian book? Let's talk about what
You won't find no
about
contradiction in that, brother. Look, do your research. Do your research.
That a human had anything to do with something, it's gonna be some type of error somewhere.
I
know you're gonna be able to name some. Because that's all you focusing
It's
on.
all fun and games. At the end of the day, you know, we trying everything, and I believe that everybody go through their own stages, and to reach their own enlightenment. Hey, stick with the Bible. You know what I'm saying? If we make you a better man, don't put it down for nobody. You know what I'm saying? If doing it for you, do it. If the Archon is doing it for you, at the end of the day, I feel like they are all our systems. Now we sit around and poke at you. We're gonna pick at it is our system.
That's right.
Now it may have been tangled with here or there, but I believe they are all our systems, something to better ourselves, depending on what time period it was.
Well, I'm gonna ask you this question. I'm be out in a minute, but I'm gonna ask y'all this question. I know y'all ain't gonna want to really talk. Why they hate y'all ass so much? Yeah, we gonna have to do a part 2 because now that ain't no lie now. You gotta
okay,
can I answer you my experience. When I went to Africa, they didn't hate us. So I don't understand that this Africans hate us as a source of money. So
that's why they love you.
They feel like we have money.
That's why they love you.
They look at us like we have
potential.
They look at us. That's what I will say. But when I went over there, like the places I went, I didn't go to seeing African Americans before. And the places I went to, they showed us extremely love. It wasn't no, oh, we hate y'all. We go over there and be like, y'all sold us in slavery. Y'all owe us something. That is what they don't think like.
No black
because just like yes, it is, bro. Let me tell you, it's some that go there and feel like they better than them.
Can I say something?
Come on now.
Can I say something right quick? Say enemy. I don't care where you come from.
Right,
you got to say enemy. And his whole another story is about Africans living in huts and this, that, and the third, making us not want to connect with our culture and making us like the kids over there about watch them New York Negroes because they'll rob you. You know, they'll do this, they'll do that. They divide and conquer. Like Stuart said, he went in, he had a whole nother experience. My brother goes to Africa on the regular because he retired from the airlines. He's in Africa all the time. So he shared with me those same kind of experiences. But when the bottom tonight, Stuart hit it right on the head. Those are all of our systems, man. We all came through Christianity. You know what I mean? We was all Christians. That's what they gave us. We are Christians because that came from Africa, man. So all we doing is sharpen our swords, discrepancy or something that we need to question, then question it. That's all we doing. We go back and do your own studies. Because if you do your own studies, you might say, you know what that brother said tonight was right on point. Everybody. You know what I mean? And you got to remember, we can only move in degrees. Let somebody cut the light on real quick. Your first reaction is to shed your light to the light. So when somebody bring you information, light, you're not going to accept it right away. Do your research. Decide one day, I want to be claiming lineage to Egyptologists. We didn't wake up like that. There were things that we had to question in our church, and by doing that, we moved another degree, towards the divine. It's all about the divine. And it breaks up into a myriad of pieces. You got a piece, right? And you call it the Hebrew Israelites. Or she got a piece and she called it Christianity. It all came from the same era. It all came from the same era. So we can't disrespect or disregard like this, that we're only going to grow. We're going to grow and we're going to become tight. And that's what we need to do in this time of struggle. We need to find what we have more. Because everybody that got up here and spoke tonight, brought intelligence to the table. We're not done by any stretch of the serendipity. And what is serendipity? The accidental discovery of something that was meant for you. Nothing just don't happen out of. And if you look at the mathematics of the day, we talk about knowledge God. Ain't that what we've been doing? Knowledge God brings about what, my brother? Knowledge and God is what? 8, right? And what we gonna do on 8? Build or destroy.
That's peace. That's the right math. Knowledge God. What's going to destroy? On point with it.
No doubt.
That's the math.
No doubt.
Yeah, you got the math right.
No doubt. So things happen for a reason. This ain't no accident. The formulas that the ethers brought us. Come on, it's a joyous. And we morphed into the Sabbath. This the Sabbath. You know what I mean? So it has significance on many different levels. You know what I mean? So our ups and downs, the tangles, because we fighters, we pugilists. You know what I'm saying? And we stand on our square, but we get better and we learn. And I did say when I came on, I said I'm here to learn. I'm open. I did say that. Love y'all, got mad love. and I hope we can do this again soon.
Love you,
I
Elder.
had a
Right back.
ball, everyone.
Yeah.
and I'm
Right
sleepy.
back.
I ain't. Yeah, that's peace. I ain't say nothing, but I had a good time listening.
Yeah.
Chime in, Mario.
born.
Now,
Back to you.
Huh?
Come on, man.
I
Chime in.
mean,
What you think, man?
well, I mean, shucks. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, everybody has what they believe in. That's what they believe. But a belief is something that you think. You don't necessarily know for fact. And then when somebody challenges your belief, they challenging what you think of the experience. So if you a Christian your entire life, or 5% or Buddhism, whatever it is, that's all you know. And so when you're dealing with knowledge, knowledge is study and show and prove it and make sure it's right or wrong. But the inner knowledge is the ledge. So you want your knowledge to be pushed as far as it can go. Looking at the math on the day, everybody is here becoming aware of something. But as the elder said, we're all building with each other. We can't sword sharp. At the end of the day, the knowledge that you get, you're going to born that knowledge somewhere else. So much respect to the elder. And so, at the end of the day, us as Black people, all the information come from us. And at the end of the day, all the information going to die and, continue being one another and grow with each other. And that's it. And all I know, man, is when these devils come, I don't care what you believe in.
There you go.
You can believe in Jesus. It don't matter. There's no disrespect. No matter what you
We'll be
believe
one
in,
tribe in.
at the end of the day, you're going to be one tribe. When they come with them hammers, you better be ready.
that's right. That's right, brother.
I love you. Shalom. Sorry, sisters, man.
brother.
Sorry, I'm just passionate.
No, I'm good, man.
I'm not a bigot. I'm not a bigot.
Yeah,
All
you're
right,
gonna
see
get a
y'all later.
spanking.
Peace.
So everybody had a chance.
Peace.
Anybody?
Peace. All right, peace.
All right, y'all.
All right.
Peace.
Have a
With
blessed night.
All right.
Good night.
All right, good night.
Peace.
All right, get out of here.